Breaking news live on the Dewmonic Abyss channel. 64th Gamer has received a cease and desist from Chuck E. Cheese over his wildly popular programming simulator, Reel to Reel. Now, Reel to Reel was a successful fan game because it allowed fans of Chuck E. Cheese to program virtual animatronics to essentially whatever songs they want. From being able to recreate old Pizza Time theater show tapes to having Jasper T. Jowls sing about being rammed in the ass by 18 naked cowboys. There was a lot of fun to be had. So this was 64th Gamer's official statement on the matter. CEC has shut down Reel to Reel. It was a good run, gonna continue to work on Chuckypedia regardless. Chuckypedia is essentially just a Wikipedia spin-off that documents the lore, the history behind Chuck E. Cheese, all the different fucking eras like Pizza Time Theater, Muntz's Make Believe, etc. If CEC doesn't want the game unofficially, then y'all gotta campaign them to take on the project as an official Chuck E. Cheese simulator. And also, just generally don't harass Chuck E. Cheese about doing this. They're well within their rights to take Reel to Reel down. So he's actually being a good sport about it. He's not trying to start up some massive witch hunt campaign against them. He's not out for blood or revenge or whatever. He's actually taking it with grace, which I gotta give him credit for. He's definitely handling this a lot better than he did during the downfall of Rockafire Replay. Which actually, when it comes to Rockafire Replay, I have a pretty hot take when it comes to that. I know some people might be up in arms, especially the little kids that fucking worship 64th Gamer. But having actually talked to Aaron myself and him giving me, like, his full context, his full side of the story, I honestly think that Fechter got a lot of undeserved hate during that time. And 64th kind of handled it really, I don't know if I want to say immaturely, but he didn't put in the effort he could have to save that game. And I think that is something that should be criticized, or could be criticized, rather. The actual cease and desist letter itself, I feel like, is pretty concerning. I know a lot of people in the animatronic community that have made fan games similar to Reel, or, you know, using the same characters, right? Like, my girlfriend literally made Pizza Time Horror. We were just talking about that and wondering if there could be any implications from CC Corp. But, oh yeah, I also know that Radiance made this 3D Five Nights at Freddy's inspired Chuck E. Cheese horror game too, you know. We really have no idea how far CEC is willing to take this, if this is like a precedence they are setting, or if this is just a specific one-off case. But considering how influential they are, you know, this is a wealthy corporation we're talking about. I feel like if you want to make fan game projects using these characters or whatever the fuck, really better be safer than sorry and actually try to get their permission, because you have no idea if they're going to gun you. It starts off pretty generic, you know, usual generic corporate bullshit. CC Entertainment Concepts has proudly served as the nationally recognized leader in family dining and entertainment and the place where a kid can be a kid. As the award-winning #1 kid-friendly restaurant for millions of families across the world, the company and its franchisees operate a system of more than 500 Chuck E. Cheese stores located in 47 states, yada yada yada. Powerful flex, I know. But skimming through, they end off this paragraph by saying, "It has come to CC's attention that you are programming and preparing to publish software utilizing and displaying the CC intellectual property without our express authorization, which can be found on YouTube at the following link." Now, I don't know if this is a precedence they're starting where Reel to Reel content on YouTube is at risk of being taken down, but it is definitely something to consider, or to be wary of. While we appreciate what appears to be your being a fan of Chuck E. Cheese, we cannot permit unauthorized uses of the CEC intellectual property. And then they also go on to say that your use of the CEC trademarks and commerce have already caused a number of reported instances of actual confusion. As a direct consequence of your unauthorized actions, CEC has suffered and will continue to suffer significant monetary damages, as well as irreparable harm that cannot adequately be compensated for by money damages. Now, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I don't think Reel to Reel was actually harming their brand financially. But from what I've gathered, 64th Gamer had a Patreon, actually, where one of the rewards was him releasing previews of Reel to Reel builds, right? Anyone sub to his Patreon would get demos of what's expected in this project. So in a sense, he was making money off of the CEC trademark, which might be why they're specifically gunning for him at the moment. It could be entirely based off of the Patreon. I don't know. Plenty of companies in the past have gotten on fan creators' cases about Patreons. I think one example I remember, if anyone ever watched Super Mario Bros. Z growing up, the creator of that, Alvin Earthworm, had a Patreon because this was an animation series that took so much fucking time, very high quality, and a lot of people were more than willing to back him financially. Nintendo didn't like that he was making money off of their brand and actually struck it down. So this isn't uncommon for corporations to do. It typically isn't the best move PR-wise because fans are going to side with fellow fans. They don't want a corporation coming in and telling them what they can and can't make fan projects of. They don't want their fan art being policed, especially when they're doing it out of the goodness of their heart. They're doing it to promote the brand. They're doing it as a love letter to this franchise that has encaptured their hearts, to be a bit poetic here. Now, a lot of people... Okay, hold on. My camera went out of focus. Here we go. A lot of people are drawing Get in focus. Come on. Attaboy. A lot of people are drawing parallels of this situation to Aaron Fechter and the drama between him and 64th, his Rockafire Replay simulator. Now, in my opinion, I think Aaron Fechter was actually very fair, and Fechter got a lot of undeserved hate. To my understanding, and Fechter has actually sent me receipts of this, Aaron has been trying to reach out to him to bury the hatchet, to work on a business deal that benefits them both, even benefits them both financially. This is a Twitter message he sent 64th Gamer. Let's bury the hatchet and work on a project together. I'm going to be selling my building in the near future. That means the tours I give will come to an end. It also means I'll have financial means to support a big project. Let's create a virtual tour of the Jefferson building while it's still there, where all the shows and pieces actually work. I am open to creating programmable versions of all the shows, as well as long as we have a system for preventing vulgar uploads. Imagine having access to all the mechanical drawings of the Hard Luck Bears, the Rockafire, and everything else. We just have to work together for this to have a future, Aaron Fechter. He's very polite in this message. He's actually giving 64 a really fucking good deal that other people would probably kill to have, honestly. And 64th Gamer kind of just responds by ghosting him. Well, I say he responds, but his lack of response is kind of what drives me a little crazy. Because Fechter's actually putting in the work to save his own game, and 64th Gamer just really wants nothing to do with him. A lot of people also kind of defend him by saying, oh, I wouldn't want to work with Aaron either. I'd be afraid. But I'm literally fucking Dewmonic Abyss. I'm Eye Patch Boy. Aaron Fechter uploaded a video calling me a cockroach.
Fetus is jealous. Patch Boy is... Eye Patch Boy is jealous of me. Believe it or not. There'll be no haters, no losers, no jerks, no idiots, no eye patches. If any fetuses want to take me on, I will ignore you as long as I can. And then I will kick your...
Saying he wanted to kick my ass, whatever the fuck. All those were old funny videos that got taken down. I don't care about them anymore. But even I'm not afraid to talk to Aaron Fechter. And when I reached out to him about Maddie's Rockafire game, which he appointed me as co-director when we were working on that, I don't know about the status of the game at the moment. It might be canceled indefinitely. It's her choice if she ever wants to reboot it or not. But Fechter was very, very fair with that arrangement. He was actually even willing to promote the game and make it official Rockafire merch. His only thing is, like, he wants people that are making projects like this to actually introduce themselves to him, pitch the project, and agree to a couple ground rules. And his ground rules aren't anything unreasonable. He wants the Rockafire to be family friendly. He doesn't want politics or anything controversial in there. He cares about the child friendliness of his brand, which is also why he's taken down a lot of his old controversial videos. I don't know if he still stands by them or whatever, but he doesn't want that to remain in the Rockafire brand. It's understandable. I mean, you have a franchise that's for kids. You really don't want to see Billy Bob talking about sucking cock or being fucked in the ass, you know what I mean? As funny as it is, you can understand where Fechter's coming from a business point of view. Now, overall, I think that those videos don't really harm the brand. I feel like plenty of mainstream child brands like SpongeBob, for example, or Mickey Mouse, they get all sorts of fucking online spin-offs made of their, online fan spin-offs where they take these characters and make them say offensive shit. That's part of the comedy. Like, these childhood characters are now suddenly being very vulgar, very gross, and edgy, which you wouldn't expect from them otherwise. And there's obviously an audience for that type of content. I think Mad, even Robot Chicken, these are actual, like, shows on TV that do this, where they parody these otherwise child-friendly brands. And it doesn't harm the actual brand in the slightest, because it's very obvious that the original copyright owner does not endorse this or own it or anything like that. And when it comes to kids, really, like, I feel like the burden should be on the parents to make sure they're watching things that aren't going to damage them psychologically, if that makes sense. I think if 64th wants to save his game, if he wants to make Reel-to-Reel an official Chuck E. Cheese game, like he says in this Discord message, I think that is a good step in the right direction. I think it shows that he is taking initiative to actually, like, keep this in the public domain. But you have to be willing to actually work with the representative of this company. They're obviously going to set their own policies and rules in place, just like Aaron is. And it'll be up to him to decide whether or not that's going to be worth the hassle.